Is this attempt 3 with the,
This is attempt
the bread
3,
machine?
but it's a known successful recipe.
Yep.
So I did the known amount. Did the bread that I know that I can make. It worked.
Oh, about time.
So I don't understand what happened.
When did it manage to cut itself a slice off? That's a really talented bread machine.
I was hungry, you took too long. I was trying to wait for you and you took too long. I don't know why, but this one worked and it's tasty.
I hope so.
That's good.
Maybe the recipe was bad.
Maybe the recipe, it was like measurements were shifted around.
Yeah, they were
Like
wrong.
it told me to add like half a cup of yeast. Doesn't work. That's very wrong. So maybe I just measured it wrong. I also did, this is a 2-pound loaf as opposed to a 1-pound loaf, which is what the other one was. And I don't know, it's tasty, it works. The machine still works, yay! And it's not my fault, I didn't do it wrong, even though Corrado thinks I did. Corrado,
Yes.
remember when you made soup?
Yes.
Did
the noodles absorb all the
the
water?
noodles absorbed all the water.
That's because I added 4 times the amount of recommended noodles.
It's not soup anymore. It's just liquidy noodles.
No, now it's pasta. Now it's
chicken broth
noodle
pasta.
Doesn't that sound good?
I don't know.
That's great.
Sounds strange.
Yeah, no, I was hoping that was gonna happen.
Actually,
A little bit, because now it's
you can have some chicken noodle pasta with your bread.
Yeah.
Are you dancing? This is hey, I thought you watched Footloose. You should know that dancing's inappropriate.
By the end of the movie,
I never saw the end of the movie. I was offended by the message and I turned the movie off. But clearly that's not a message we should be sharing with the youth of today or yesterday. Listen, you're infringing on copyright. Jesus is not happy about this. You need some music.
I watched 3 movies today.
I know.
All about dancing.
Really?
It was awesome.
I believe you.
What was the first one?
Footloose.
And
Footloose.
what was the
And
second
then
one?
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, Dirty Dancing,
And then
right.
whatever this is called.
All of this seems really inappropriate to me. Dirty dancing?
Footloose?
So
No.
Sure. So while I was watching those 3 movies, I was also playing with Lego. Because I can. This is my resort. And it is populated by Star Wars and Harry
What?
Potter.
What? You have
And
Star Wars Lego?
random other characters.
Jar Jar Binks. I didn't know
I
that.
have 2
And
Jar
a
Jar
battle
Binks.
droid.
Yep, and I also have Darth Vader and Snape are going for a horse-drawn carriage ride.
This has been here for weeks and I've never looked until right now. That's exciting.
They're all having a great time and drinking butterbeer together and stuff. That's what
No.
I do. This is what I do when I play with Legos. I build silly, silly houses.
What are you slaving down here for? It's almost 2 in the morning.
Well, yeah, but I didn't get up until 2 in the afternoon.
You didn't get up at
Oh
when
my
did you get up?
gosh. I got up at like
got-
9:30.
Yeah.
I set my alarm for 9:30.
Okay.
And
And
then
then the alarm went off.
and then I woke up.
And then what happened?
Saskia got up and had
Gave
a
you a
shower
kiss?
and then went
Yeah.
to do her morning things.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, I'm leaving."
Okay, so now it's what, 10? 10:30?
She's like,
10:30.
So you were there for an hour?
She's like, "Are you gonna get up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake."
Yeah, after an hour you're probably awake.
Yeah, you know. And then she leaves. And
Yeah,
then
she's gone.
It's
And I'm here.
and it's I wake up and it's 2:00.
Well,
You were awake for an
you were
hour
awake.
when
Well,
I
and
came
and then I
home.
wake up. And then I wake up and it's
I
2
came
o'clock.
back at like 3:30 and you were up for an hour.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I felt really bad.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked too because it was like 12 hours of sleep.
I gotta say, I'm slightly disappointed.
I'm also disappointed.
I shared some interesting things with Corrado today about ADHD.
Oh yes.
The ADHD
That's like
videos.
an everyday thing.
But yeah, we talk about it all the time. We were talking the other day about problems with executive function,
Yes.
and he had a couple questions. I'm like, I don't know. Oops, I touched you. And I was like, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
And then this morning, I was biking. I was exercising on the bike upstairs like this.
That's how you bike.
I didn't even know because I was asleep.
That's quite the contrast
whatever.
between the two things. And I was like, I used to listen to music, and I find that still too boring. And I got advice from somebody to listen to like audiobooks or like people talking or whatever. And even more so, he said for people with ADHD, what's really great is really, really, really loud headphones that completely dominate your attention.
I see.
And if I'm biking and I haven't put my contacts in, I take off my glasses. So I'm like putting myself into like seclusion. Like I can't see.
Right.
And then and it's like crazy, crazy, crazy loud. And then with what I'm listening to or watching, certain
You can't
programs,
watch anything because you have no glasses.
yeah,
on.
but I'm biking, right? And it's just a dude, it's an old dude talking, right? But you play it you like speed up the footage. You like play it back faster.
Okay.
So like you speed up, so instead of being playing it like 1 time, it's like 1.5 times. So it's just a bit faster.
I see.
When people talk, they tend to talk a little bit slower,
Right.
and they are explaining a thing.
Yeah, I'm already bored.
And that can be very boring. And so, really, really loud, can't see, I'm biking, and then you speed it up. So it's like, and you just get it at a good speed where you can understand everything that they're saying. I'm just like learning all kinds of stuff about me, which is my favorite topic. And I heard a thing, and it was like it answered what your question was.
It was a direct answer.
From the other day. So back to what I first said, so then I came down and Corrado woke up 15 hours later, and then I played the video. The very specific thing is like, where in development does self-control come from? And Corrado was like, you do it. Like when you don't want to do something, you just do it. And I'm
Suck
like,
it up.
yeah, you just suck it up and you do it. And it's like, well, what if you can't? Well, you do.
Yeah, you do.
But what if you don't?
just do.
But you do. If you're playing video games and you need to take out the garbage, you are clearly capable of stopping what you're doing and going and grabbing garbage and taking it outside.
Right.
And so why could there ever be a disorder that would prevent that from happening?
Well, no, there could be, but it's like, I mean, yes, but it's more like you are physically capable of standing up, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not physically challenged.
I'm with you.
You can stand up, and you know you need to stand up.
Yep.
It's like, I need to take out the trash, and you're aware of that.
Yeah.
So you just have to be like, I really don't want to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. And it's like, why can't you force your feet to move towards the garbage bin?
Because forcing yourself to do anything has very little to do with moving muscles. Moving muscles is the externalized action of what you're doing, but we're talking about very deep executive functions like motivation, and that should be a simple one, but things like inhibition, stopping what you're doing to do a different task, right? That's what you inhibit what you are in the process of doing.
Right.
So to stop an existing action is a lot more difficult than just, well, you do. You know, and it applies to things like working memory, which can be like verbal and nonverbal, and it's very complicated and very interesting. So he asked me, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I just can't. Okay.
Things. And I can, but I can't. It's not that I don't have executive functions. I just have impaired executive functions, and figuring out what those are has been very interesting. And then it's not just like, well, it's broken, it's never going to be fixed. It's like, what are you going to do about it? And so then obviously there's things that you can do. ADHD itself is not curable, in which you would cure it and it goes away permanently, but it is treatable, which that's something that you can work on every day. And so I had an answer to Corrado's question, and I figured it out while I was biking. We watched a video together. Actually, we can link to it in the description. If that interested you, I will link in the description. It's not a YouTube video, but it's a link, and it's a series of videos that I'm watching. If you are so inclined to learn about the 5 executive functions, which I find fascinating.
It was interesting to know the classifying things is always interesting. Not necessarily in the way of like, there's a problem and I want to know the problem. This is just like, there are 5 things.
Yeah.
It's like there are 5 different things that humans do. It's like they've worked it down to 5.
Because it doesn't start with, here are the 5 things ADHD people are doing wrong.
No.
It's, here are the 5 things humans do.
Right.
Period. And we see it in infants, and we see it in children, and this is how life works. And then when we can look at a regular infant and a regular child, and then a child with ADHD, now we can see the impairments and we can see the disorder, and it's something that we can prove. It's very, very interesting, I think. But I'm also a huge nerd.
I just want you to take out the garbage.
Yeah, me too. What's really interesting is that it's not just that I can't stop myself to do things that I don't want to do. That's called procrastination, right? If there's something you don't want to do
all the time.
and you delay, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do it. That is procrastination. Now, there is something that has the exact same result, but it is the inverse. It's not that I don't want to do a different thing, it's that I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing, regardless of what I'm doing. And that's called perseveration. And it's the opposite of procrastination.
Oh, is that from perseverance?
I wrote it all down today. Perseverance is steadfastness in doing something despite difficulty. Something is difficult and you persevere, you persist. Perseverance is to repeat or prolong an action after the stimulus that prompted it has ceased. In other words, repetition of a particular response despite the absence of cessation of a stimulus. Same thing. So I don't need to keep doing this. There's nothing stimulating me to keep doing this, but I keep doing it anyways. And that's what people, and that's what the lay person calls like ADHD's hyperfocus. But I'm not only hyperfocusing on things I enjoy, I'm hyperfocusing on whatever I'm focusing on, even if I don't enjoy it. And I will persevere doing what I am doing, even if it means not doing a different thing I enjoy doing. Like, I very much enjoy editing, but I will procrastinate editing, but it's not that I don't want to edit. It's that I can't stop doing what I'm doing. So it's the same result, but a different...
Yeah, the inverse function.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to stop vlogging now, because this has been too long. And this is why I talk too much, because once I get going, I can't stop. I have perseverance in my verbal motor functions.
Okay.
So, I guess we just stop now. I guess that's the end, and I can't even end it quickly. But we're done. Good night.
Give me daily vlogs, I want them in my subscription box. I wonder who might drop by, even though sometimes it's Canada outside. So don't go away, we're here every day. It's not ApprenticeEh, it's ApprenticeEh. Hey, 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 hey.